As we have commented in the last lesson, now it's time to set up Docker. I'm going to go through the whole process, giving some little tips, but I will not cover technical details or troubleshoot any special issues that we can encounter. If you happen to find any problems, remember that you can go into the core test Slack channel and ask there. First of all, you need to install Docker for your operating system. If you have Linux or Mac, the process is very easy as Docker integrates with the terminal flawlessly. But if you are in Windows, you might need to integrate your Docker installation with Windows Subsystem Linux 2, also called WSL2. To avoid making this lesson too long, I have a very detailed video explaining step by step how to do this in YouTube. Take your time to go through it. Once you have Docker installed, you also need to install some additional packages like Node.js with npm, and also I recommend installing pnpim because hopefully it will be also a requirement in the near future. Also, I hope you have Git already installed. If not, it's time to do so. Now it's time to get a copy of both core and Gutenberg in two different folders. For this, you will need to go into your terminal and select the directory you want to go to store the projects. Once you are there, clone both repositories. You will end with two folders, one for core, also called WordPress Develop, and one for Gutenberg. Remember that these are two static copies. You should be putting updates every day with git pull inside each of the folders to have a copy of the latest changes. If you don't have some good concepts of Git, I recommend you to look for a Git crash course on YouTube as soon as possible. Git powers the world of development nowadays, and it's going to be by far one of the most useful tools you need to learn. First, we will set up the core repository. After cloning, we go inside the WordPress Develop folder we already cloned, and we start running the following commands. First, run npm install to install the dependencies. Do this every time you do a git pull in case the latest changes bring new packages. You will need to make sure you are well updated. Secondly, run npm run build dev. This will create a build in development mode, not in a production build. Again, you should be running this command every time you do a git pull. Also, running this command is very useful when you apply a patch or a pull request, only if the patch have JavaScript or CSS files. In other case, it's not strictly necessary. Third, it's time to run the Docker containers. Run npm run m start. This will spin the containers. You can stop them with npm run m stop. Remember that they will not stop when you close the terminal. You must stop them with the command. And finally, we should populate the WordPress database with some basic configuration data. This will save you an extra time. For this, run npm run m install. With this, we will have in the local host port 8889 our WordPress fully installed and running with the user admin and password. All the changes we do in the Git clone code in WordPress Develop will be reflected instantly in our Docker instance, except for the CSS and JavaScript ones that we will need to rebuild as I have already explained. Before closing this section and moving into Docker and Gutenberg, you must also know how to clear up all the Docker installation and start from scratch. As I said in the previous lesson, it's important to test always in a fresh environment. So you must be running this command after you finish with your testing. For this, run npm run m:reset. And you will be ready to start again running the commands we have already mentioned. As you might have observed, going through these commands is not fast, and this will be a reason why Playground will be the main choice in the future, and we will be later talking about it.